Namaskar, welcome back to the Saffron Box. Today I'll be talking about the transit of Mars in the sign of Scorpio. Now, from the 27th of October, Mars has entered into the sign of Scorpio, its very own sign, and it will be here for a period of more than 40 days. That is till the 7th or 8th December. Mars is going to be transiting in its own sign of Scorpio, and this is something which is noteworthy because Mars is a significator of courage. Mars is the significator of all the the strength we have, the initiative we take. It becomes a very important planet. After the luminaries, that is the sun and the moon, we always look at Mars. Mars also represents your physical body. So if you remember the Kalpurush horoscope, the natural horoscope, the first house is given to Mars, as well as the eighth house. So the house of birth and the house of death or going away or transformation is also given to Mars. So Mars is such an important planet. It talks about the very physical body we have. It talks about the transformations which we also undergo. And while Mars will be in the sign of Scorpio, transiting through the sign of Scorpio, this is, remember, Scorpio is a watery sign, and the job of Scorpio is to transform things, right? So it has the eighth house energy, and eighth house is transformation, eighth house is giving away, renewal, and of course it is not considered a very good house, it is not considered a very good place, but the energy of Scorpio is also alike, and if we take it positively, it's an energy of transformation. And now with Mars in the sign of Scorpio, in the trine of Mars, that is the signs of Cancer as well as Pisces, the entire water trine which is made, or you can call it the Moksha trine also if you take the natural horoscope, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is also in the sign of Cancer. Then we have Saturn in the sign of Pisces. So the entire water trine is quite energized with the big wigs like Jupiter and Saturn, and now we also have Mars. And remember, in the month of November itself, Sun would also move into the sign of Scorpio. So Sun and Mars will also spend will be conjunct together in the sign of Scorpio. So imagine the power or the explosive energy which we see in the sign of Scorpio. This, for the month of November, I've already made a video talking about the possibilities which the month holds, but this video is specifically, it is concentrated on how Mars is going to play up on your birth chart, and specifically if you have a Mars dasha going on or antardasha going on, or Mars somewhere is very active in your birth chart, then this is going to be a very important period for you as well, right? So in a very brief manner, I'm going to be covering the impact of Mars in the sign of Scorpio for all the 12 signs. So do listen out. I leave the timestamps as usual, but do remember that this is the impact of Mars, and you have to take it like this. The monthly predictions, the monthly possibilities for November, I've already made that. It's already uploaded, right? So let's begin with the sign of Aries first. Now, when we talk about Aries, the transit of Mars in the sign of Scorpio is going to be in your 8th house. And from here, Mars makes a trine with Jupiter and Saturn as well, the trine which I was talking about initially in the introduction. So here, this is a wonderful opportunity. I would take it as a wonderful opportunity for the Aries ascendant, Aries rising to transform yourself. Anything which you want to change about yourself, something which you want to let go, something which you want to really, it can be a physical makeover, it can be a mental makeover, it can be a release of lot of pent up emotions. This is a great time for the Aries ascendant. And Mars is also your Lagnesh. So remember, The Lagnesh itself in the house of transformation, 8th house in its own sign. This is a great opportunity. Make the most of it, because this time around you also have the support from the trines, that is Jupiter and Saturn are also supporting this transformation. And this energy is in the moksha trine. So letting go of things, uh, looking at renewal, looking at rejuvenation is very, very important for the Aries ascendant, right? People who are in the field of research, or you have an investigative nature as such, you will specifically enjoy this time. Then the next sign of Taurus. So if you're a Taurus rising, Taurus ascendant, then Mars is a marka for you, because it has the ownership of the 7th house, and it also holds the ownership of the 12th house, which is a Trik Bhava, a Dhusthana, malefic house for you. So Mars sitting in the Kendra Bhava, that is the sign of Scorpio, looking at aspecting the Lagna itself, this gives a lot of power, or a lot of impetus, I would say, to the relationships which you have, specifically with your partner. So it can be your married partner, it can be your life partner, it can be your business partner. So a lot of energy is put in relationships. And how is this energy? This energy may be something which is irritating you. You are confronting your partner time and again. You're not able to handle that relationship well. So that kind of energy is what I see for the Taurus ascendant. And this is a very volatile energy, because whenever we see Mars in a watery sign, there is a lot of volatility. Remember, the other sign, the sign of Cancer, is where Mars debilitates also. So Mars in a watery sign, though it's its own sign, Scorpio is owned by Mars, but this energy is very volatile. And specifically, when we bring it down to relationships, when we bring it down to marriage or contracts where two parties are concerned, and a lot of you know exchange, mental, emotional, physical involvement is concerned, that is where this energy has to be handled with care. So with your relationships, you need to be ultra careful. Then moving on to the next sign of Gemini. If you're a Gemini rising, Gemini ascendant, then Mars is not a very great planet for you. It is the 6th and the 11th lord. It holds the ownership of the growth houses, the Upche Bhavas, right? Lot of people don't take it as a very great planet for the Gemini ascendant, but I feel, since it is the Upche lord, it makes you, it pushes you towards achieving more. So you're always competing with yourself, you always want to do something better than what you have done earlier. So people who are in the fields where a lot of competition is required, you're required to be competing every day. So if you are in the field of sports, if you are into any physical sports, or you are a student who's preparing for competitive exams, you have to appear for some competitive exams, etc., then this is a period where Mars will push you towards more action. Now this, while you may be acting, while you may be taking action and feeling all competitive and all ready to take on people around you, take on the competitors around you, but there is also a sort of irritation, right? Mars out here creates a lot of, Mars is in a position of strength, so a lot of irritation can also come through. Irritation with your work colleagues, irritation with people around you, irritation in some relationships, etc. That is something which I definitely see for the Gemini ascendant, Gemini rising. So this is a time where you should avoid any fights, avoid over criticizing people. If you want to give feedback, give a constructive feedback. So criticizing, picking up fights, or not a very great time for taking up more loans also. In fact, if you want to pay off your loans, this is a good time for it. Then moving on to the next sign of Cancer. If you're a Cancer rising, Cancer ascendant, then Mars is a good planet for you. Mars is the yoga karak. It holds the ownership of the fifth as well as the 10th houses, right? So becomes a triangle and a Kendra lord and becomes a yoga karak. And it will be in its own sign, that is Scorpio, in the fifth house. Again, a good place to be. So this is a period where anyone who's connected to education sector, it you may be teaching, you may be getting taught. So you may be a teacher, you may be a student, you may be a counselor, you may be a intellectual of some sort, you may be associated with some organization, where planning is required. You may be on the committee, on the board of some certain things, or anywhere where deep thinking is required, a lot of your mental output is required. This is a great time. This is a great time for all such people who are involved in all such things. And also one more thing which is very interesting is, if you're connected to the education sector somehow, so you may be someone who's dealing in books, right? You may not be a student yourself, you may not be a teacher yourself, but you may be in the publishing business, you may be in the stationery business, etc., or something to do with children. This is a great time for you. So anyone who's in these kind of sectors, these kind of fields, your profession is connected to all this, this is a good time. For a lot of people who are seeking out job change, this will also be a good period where you may look at new opportunities. So job changes can come through. I would not advise people, as soon as people see a very strong fifth house, they talk about speculative gains or betting or taking more risks with their money. I would not advise for it. This is not a very great time, because for all these things where a lot of money is required, you are looking at speculative gains. Mars will create that volatile energy. And remember, there is the presence of Rahu also in your 8th house. So unexpected things can also happen. So be very, very careful, and be very cautious with the money which you invest anywhere. Otherwise, this is a great time. Then we move on to the next sign of Leo. So if you're Leo rising, Leo ascendant, Mars is going to be there in your 4th house all through the 42 days. And your Lagnesh, that is Sun, will also be there from mid-November till mid-December along with Mars. Now this is a lot of good energy, I would say, right? So this is a lot of good energy. Mars is your yoga karak. Your Lagnesh is also conjunct with Mars. That is, this is creating a good yoga. So this gives you a boost in terms of your personality. Number one, imagine the king being supported by the commander-in-chief. So there is a lot of supporting energy of Mars which it gives to you. So it is good for your health if you want to do something. It is good for people who are in the real estate, in the property business. You're looking at sale purchase of some real estate, a plot or a piece of land, etc. This may also be a good time where you look at gatherings at home. So they can be of the religious sort, right? So holding some or conducting some religious ceremony at home, whenever some auspicious occasions you've got to celebrate, these kind of occasions can come through during this time. You also enjoy the support of your parents, of your elders. So make the most of this period while Mars is in the sign of Scorpio in your 4th house. Then moving on to Virgo. If you're a Virgo rising, Virgo ascendant, now for you also, Mars is a class 1 malefic, because Mars is the owner of the 3rd as well as the 8th house. So it becomes a class 1 malefic for you without a doubt. But Mars does wonderfully well in the Upche houses. It is a malefic planet after all, right? And it will be in its own sign in the 3rd house. So except for you getting irritated and being harsh in your communication, picking up fights with your friends or with your siblings, etc., that is something which you need to take care of. But otherwise, this is an excellent time for you to take initiative in new things. So if you're someone who's related to sports, you're related to social media, your work involves a lot of traveling, or you do something related to traveling, then this is a very good time. You get that, spirit of competing, the spirit of doing things, taking new initiative, taking new work onto yourself, so new responsibilities, etc. This is not a very great time to take loans, right? So that is something. Don't increase the debt which you have on yourself. I would best advise you to best avoid it, at least in this time Mars is in the sign of Scorpio. Then we have Libra ascendant, Libra rising. Now for you, again, Mars is a Marka. How is it a Marka? Because it is the owner of the second house as well as the seventh house. So it becomes again a class 1 Marka for you, and it will be in its own sign, that is the second house, Scorpio, right? So here, um, Mars gets a lot of, there is a lot of impetus in your Eartha trine. So we have Mars in the second house, we have an exalted Jupiter in your 10th house, Saturn is there in your 6th house. So your Eartha trine is quite charged. And for you, for the Libra ascendant, anyhow, Sun will also be there in your Eartha trine. Sun is your 11th lord, and Sun will be conjunct with Mars in its own house, that is the house of money, house of finances. All that is pretty okay, but relationships wise, or in terms of your speech, your conduct within the family, or how you speak, that is the Achilles heels, I would say. So everything is good, but you can spoil a lot of things for yourself by way of your speech. So this is the time to be patient, to be a little more tolerant of people around you. Others may not be wrong all the time, right? So sometimes you may also be giving people a hard time. So this is how you need to take it. So be a little more tolerant, stay away from anything which is spicy, which is unhealthy for your gut. Second house is what you eat, right? Your food is seen from the second house. This is not a very good time to eat very heavy or very hot and spicy food. Avoid that. Stick to a normal diet at least as much as you can, because the 6th, the 10th houses, all these things. So people who are prone to gastric trouble, or people who are prone, or those who already have some stomach related problems, they can have a rough time, if your food intake is not under check. So take care of your food intake. That is very important. Eat a simple sattvic home cooked meal. That would be my advice to you. Though it's very difficult for the Libra ascendant, because when we talk about Mars, any house which Mars owns, you like to put in a lot of energy out there. So you like your food to be of a certain way, right? So but this is not the right time. This is the time to moderate your food intake. Then the sign of Scorpio, or Scorpio ascendant, Scorpio rising. For you, it is a wonderful time. Mars is your ascendant lord. Mars is in your own house, that is the first house. Sun, which is your 10th lord, will also be conjunct with it. Your trines are supercharged with Saturn in the 5th house, with Jupiter is your 5th lord, exalted in the 9th house. So what a wonderful trine it is. Your Dharma trine is really well charged. This is a time to, this is a time where luck favors you. So make the best use of whatever you have in front of you. So opportunities which come in front of you, the way you get to, connect with people, seek the blessings of elders. This will be a wonderful time for you to visit any good place, any holy places which you feel like, which you feel drawn to. It will do you wonders, right? So visit your mentors, visit your teachers. This is a great time to do all that. Take care of the new opportunities which are coming. Make the most of it. Just don't let anger or aggression, sometimes in our impulse we act out of anger and we regret later. So don't get into that kind of a situation. Otherwise, this is a wonderful time. Those of you who are a little prone to headaches, etc., you need to be a little careful, right? With with two fiery planets coming to the ascendant, Mars as well as Sun, this can give you headaches. It could be because of any reason. It could be because of poor gut health. It could be because of dehydration or exposure to sun for a very long time. So these are the things which you need to take care a bit. But otherwise, opportunity wise, this is a wonderful time for the Scorpio rising. Then Sagittarius ascendant, Sagittarius rising. For you, this is very interesting. Your Lagnesh, your ascendant ruler, Jupiter, is exalted right now in the 8th house. Exalted, but in the 8th house. So this is little tricky for the Sagittarius ascendant all the time, because ascendant ruler exalts and goes to the worst or the most difficult of the malefic houses. So time for transformation, time for change, and but it again depends on how you look at it. So I look at it as a good opportunity to make changes, to your lifestyle, to your habits, to your physical self. And you are supported by Mars. Mars is your Yogakara Graha, but Mars will be in the sign of Scorpio in your 12th house. So the presence of Mars out there is again something which can be a little tricky. Your expenses can go up. You can be an impulsive spender during this time. So take care of all the credit card bills you're running into, all the impulsive buying you are getting into. That is something which you need to definitely take care of, Sagittarius ascendant. And this is though a wonderful time, because whenever the 12th lord is in the 12th house, like Mars in Scorpio this time around, this is a very good opportunity for you to give away. And what do you want to give away? You can start with letting go of things which are of no use. One, decluttering your physical space, decluttering your mental space. If you want to forgive someone, if you want to just some relationship which is not giving you any good, which is giving you a lot of pain, cut off the ties. Don't put yourself in misery, right? So this is the transformation I'm talking about. If you want to do some act of charity, then do it, right? If you want to go and do some selfless, some nishkam seva as we call it, some selfless service, then by all means do it. Make use of your physical body. Sometimes giving away does not only mean giving away money. It can be service of kinds, so you can whatever be the place of your choice or your interest, you want to put in some selfless act of service, please by all means do it. It will do you a lot of good, right? So excellent opportunity for spiritual evolution. This is the time to absorb more from the environment rather than reacting. So absorb things, observe things, and keep your reactions, keep your response to the minimal, and that will really work well for you. Then the Capricorn ascendant or the Capricorn rising. For you, Mars will be in the 11th house, its own house. Mars is in a Upche Bhava, as I said, it's always good. 11th house, any planet always brings in good results. So here, Mars brings you material gains, gains from your elder siblings, gains from your friend circle, but it also makes you a little impulsive. So that is something which you need to be careful about. Don't be impatient with your money also, right? So again, something which you can avoid, which you can keep a check on. Support can come from a lot of places, right? So be ready to make the use of the opportunity which comes your way. Your Lagnesh is also in the 3rd house. Saturn in the 3rd house also does good, and we have Mars in the 11th house. We have Jupiter in the Kendra in the 7th house. So your Kama trine, your Kama trikona, the desire, the desires which you have are anyways activated. So this trine is activated. Make the most of it, but don't be impatient, right? So when Mars is there in the 11th house, impatience can also come in, can also creep in. And avoid anything risky, right? So something which is very risky, because we also have sun is your eighth lord. Its job is to give you upheavals, bring ups and downs, bring transformations, bring suddenness to you. And it is conjunct with Mars in the 11th house. So it may bring you windfall gains, but at the same point in time, your greed or your improper planning can also land you in trouble. So it's a little risky affair. Then Aquarius rising or Aquarius ascendant. For you, Mars will be in the 10th house, its own house. It will aspect the Lagna, it will aspect the 4th house as well as the 5th house. A wonderful placement for it. Mars also gets a lot of directional strength, that is Digbal, in the 10th house. It will be supported by Sun also for a period of about 20 odd days, 20-25 days. So this is again a good period. Make the most of it. New responsibility can come, new work, new projects can open, new avenues can come through. So this is the time for you to especially if you're employed, if you're doing a job, then this is more applicable to such people who are employed, who are in service, right? So this will bring in more opportunities and of course more gains. So all good, I would say. If you are looking at cracking any interviews or competing somewhere, you're looking around for a job right now, this will again bring in a lot of opportunities. So make use of this period of 40 days, right? Then we have the last ascendant of Pisces. So if you're a Pisces ascendant, Pisces rising, then we have Mars in your 9th house, in its own house. Mars is the Bhagyesh, it's the ruler of luck. And we have Saturn in the 1st house. We have Jupiter, which is your Lagnesh, in the 5th house. So imagine the Lagnesh in the 5th house, the 9th house lord in the 9th house. A wonderful combination. Lagnesh is exalted, that anyways takes care a lot, takes care of a lot of things around you, right? So this is a good time. Luck can favor you, travels can be fruitful. So all the journeys which you make for work, which you make for pleasure, they'll be fruitful. You'll be enjoying those journeys, etc. And this is also a good time for people in the education field, or for people who are looking at upskilling themselves. So you may be of whatever age, you may be in your 20s, 30s, 40s. If you're looking at learning new skills, upgrading yourself, this is a wonderful opportunity, right? So the fortune is favoring you, Lady Luck is favoring you. Make the most of it. So that was all about the 12 signs and what impact, or rather what are the kind of possibilities which Mars brings while it transits the sign of Scorpio. This was my analysis. A lot of it of course depends on your dasha, on your natal chart. That is needless to say, right? So I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and God bless you.